ones, welcome to another episode of the Moon Day Oracles, and this is for the week of Monday, April 7th. So this week things are getting quite intense. There's no better way to say it. A good expression that we use in our society would probably be the shit is hitting the fan. So, that tells a lot just by that, but it can be a really, really good thing. And my intention with this video and this week is that I give you the tools and the information that you need in order to allow this month to be amazing and to be happy and to really work for you, rather than to be stressful and challenging like a lot of people will be experiencing it. And there's a key to that. There's sort of a secret. It's not a secret at all, but in our society apparently it is. So that secret is there's a lot of energy right now. There's a lot of energy coming up from the earth. It's spring, or in Aries, things are just getting started. It's always an intense time of year, compounded by a couple of astrological events. The full moon is coming up in Libra in about a week, and we have something known as the Grand Cross coming up at the end of the month as well, which for most astrologists, is known as sort of a negative thing, but it's not necessarily like that. The Grand Cross is when different planets that have challenging aspects for each other line up in a certain way that really creates tension, would be the simplest way to say it. And we don't have to have that sort of tension and intensity in a bad way if we don't want it. And here's what you need to know for this week and for this month especially. To explain it, I'm going to use the metaphors of a spiral and a river. So a spiral is an ancient woman's symbol. It talks about the fertility of life, the cyclical nature of life, the death and rebirth cycle. Look around in the forest. There's not much in here that's a straight line. And that's in a direct sort of different or contrast to the straight lines that we're used to working with in our patriarchal culture the way it is right now. Our roads are straight, our buildings are straight lines, we write on straight paper, we're told not to color out of the lines, all these sort of examples I could use. So getting back to the spiral, which is sort of that holistic, very cyclical, very total way of looking at the world. And that is what the flow is. So being a part of that flow, being a part of, when life just works for you, when things are moving, when things are just being awesome, that's us being in the spiral, really connected to just the rhythms of life and not forcing and not resisting, just being a part of that beautiful energy. And then we have a river. So this river is coming up this month, and the river is going through the spiral. So if we are listening to our inner guidance right now, if we're really connected, we don't have to be really connected, but if we're doing our best, if we're committed, if we're willing to listen, if we're willing to make those checks and balances, so if we're willing to end that relationship because we know we're really called to, or if we're willing to start that new job and get our resumes out there, if we're willing to make the changes that we've been really called to make, then we position ourselves to be in that spiral. And so when the river of energy this month is coming in, we're actually moving through that spiral in a very exciting, fast-paced, awesome way. It can be intense for sure because the river is moving so fast, but for the most part it's exciting. And with that comes the manifestation of things that we've long been dreaming of. Especially my messages are the things that we've wanted since around September. Ideas or goals that we've had are just now, we might have even been given up on a lot of those goals and manifestations. This month, especially towards the end, is when a lot of those manifestations will start to arise, especially if we're listening and we're working with the flow. This month, if we're not listening and if we're really resisting the changes, and we're not in that cycle, that river's just gonna ravage us and rage us and make our lives go crazy and intense, and we're gonna be fighting, and it's gonna be like swimming upstream. And the best thing to do is to get ourselves back in that spiral, which is really listening to the inner guidance and acting on what we're being asked to do. So if you're experiencing any sort of internal or external violence this month, or you feel like you're just really coming up against something, or life is just kicking the shit out of you. Sorry, I swear, so I'll just swear in my videos too. Then that's a really, really good indication that there's something that you're not listening to in your life. And we want, with this video, I'm really asking all of us to work together to get back ourselves into this spiral, into this flow. And it's not about perfection, it's about progress, right? So we don't have to be doing everything perfectly in order to have a really, really good month. But just those really big things that we've been getting, it's important that we act on. So I just want to take a moment with all of us right now to close our eyes and tune in, and we'll do this together, tune in to anything that we need to be acting on or listening to that we haven't been. So start to breathe deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth. And simply ask mentally aloud, or you can just sort of nod your head to what I'm saying. Spirit, is there anything that you would have me do, or anything that you would have me really listen to or focus on or pay attention to right now? Are there any changes that you would have me make? Thank you for guiding me and giving me the courage to do so. Thank you for helping this month to be amazing. So that's just, you can open your eyes, that's an example of sort of how we can reconnect and how we can work with those checks and balances to get ourselves really back in that flow, back in that river, back where life is pummeling through us. And with that beautiful exchange, we're really a part of something bigger, and we're not resisting it, we're flowing with it. That's how to get back there, is constantly asking and making sure that you follow through with whatever you get. If you don't, when you ask and you have sort of prayers like that, if you don't get anything right away, don't worry about it. And most of the time I don't actually get stuff right away. Things just sort of pop up to me and I get messages. So, maybe somebody mentions, you have 3 different people that are asking you, oh, hey, have you applied for that new job yet? That would be sort of an indication from the universe working with, its people and its messengers to inform you that this is a change that you would like to, it would like you to make. So just listen, really be committed to listening in that way this month. Again, if you're experiencing some turmoil, just do your best to get yourself into that space where you're listening and you're acting. And this month can be very, very, in that way, be very, very, very exciting for us. So don't worry if you're reading online about the crazy astrological event at the end of the month. It's going to, be super negative and make us all cry. Don't worry about it. That's one way of looking at it, and there's many different perspectives on this phenomenon. And it can be an incredible motivator, an incredibly juicy, incredibly real time for us to have those manifestations that we've really longed for come into our lives. So it can be really, really good too. I would like to say, if you're confused right now, if you don't know, if you don't trust yourself to be able to listen enough to the guidance, and if you're feeling unsure or scared or in chaos at all, please reach out and get support. Just come to bethkatherine.com and let's book a session together. It's just sort of a one-time session. There will be coaching programs in the future, but right now you can just book a session with me. We can get on Skype or on the phone and just talk for half an hour, and I can channel your spirit guides and your angels' messages for you. I really give you a lot of peace and clarity about what the divine would like you to work on and focus on for this month in the midst of all of these changes. So please reach out if you need support. We are in this together, and we're meant to be doing this together as well. So the best of luck to all of us, and I'll be seeing you on the Facebook page this week. Lots of love, and have the best week ever. Enjoy the intensity of the times. Much love.